the Riverside to catch up with all you lovely folks out there on YouTube, but we're happy to see so many folks are already here. Hi. Hello. Good to see you. It's kicking in. There it goes. Hi. Good to see everybody. Let me fix one little thing here. Good to see you on a Friday. We were not here last Friday because I was out and about in the world. Which was clearly a mistake
because injuring yourself.
Because I now have what appears to be a torn MCL. We don't know. We will find out. We will find out what the deal is. I had an MRI yesterday. Very dumb, really, really dumb. Like if I were to tell you what happened, you would be laughing at how stupid it is. Getting off a lift at Mammoth, 30 plus years of skiing, never had an accident in my entire life. I don't do crazy stuff. I'm a middle-aged lady. I like to go down my long, pleasant blue runs.
You're a thrill seeker. You're a danger woman.
I'm going, jumping off of boulders and stuff. Anyway,
now, when you do an MRI for your leg, can you just cram your leg in there, or do you have to do the whole body thing?
Yes, they stuck me in feet first.
Okay.
So that was good.
That seems less claustrophobic.
Right, but you still have to have like the earplugs in and the headphones on, and it's still like the ba-bum, ba-bum. It was like being in Tron, because like a different pattern would come up, like ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum. This is all of the movie-related content that you guys are here for.
Scored by Daft Punk.
It really was. Hi, Brent and Thomas and Christine. Thanks for asking. Micah says, Alonzo, where can I get that sweet linoleum knife merch?
It's a Patreon thing that we have. So patreon.com/linoleum knife.
Good. Go find it. Get you some. Yes, Teddy says Christy Extreme. Yeah, I am out for the season. But the good thing is, Brent, this was like the last afternoon of our last ski trip of the season. It was like April 27th when this happened. So wasn't a whole lot more to do. I'll tell you really fast, and then we'll move on to movie stuff, which is why you're here. Okay, so Mammoth. If any of you guys know Mammoth, there's a chair called the Facelift, and it goes up and up and up and up to the top of the mountain and makes a quick left turn. And so I was on the inside part of that left-hand turn. It was me, my son, Nick, my husband, Chris, and a snowboarder. Shout out to Bryce from Pasadena, who listens to Film Week. Hello, Bryce. And so we're making the left turn, and we all got kind of tangled up, and it dumps you out on this very narrow, short little landing. And to my left is this sheer drop. To my right is Nick. In front of me, because it was crazy crowded on a beautiful spring day, were people waiting to go down that run that comes down from that lift. So there was nowhere to go. I tried to snowplow to stop myself. My left ski released. My right ski did not. And my whole right leg went whoop and twisted in.
And like Gwyneth Paltrow, you lost a half day skiing.
I did lose a half day skiing. Thankfully, I did not run into it. Was he an ophthalmologist or was he a dentist?
I forget now.
Anyway, yeah, Brent says this whole story feels very Challengers. Yes, various folks have joked that this is my Tashi cosplay. Too soon, man. Anyway, what's good about when you do have an accident at the top of the mountain, there is already ski patrol right there. So they were on me. Thank you to the Mammoth Ski Patrol, who was quick. They were so nice. Thank you to Max from Ski Patrol. He was lovely. I got to get tobogganed down the mountain. I was all burritoed up and tobogganed down the mountain and looking up at the blinding sunshine as I'm being dragged down the mountain. My only thought was, how am I going to get to the Fall Guy screening on Monday night? Can I drive to LA? This is how my mind works. I'm thinking about work.
Always on the job.
I am. This is on my vacation. I need to loosen up. So I did indeed get to the Fall Guy screening, as you saw. And the folks at Mammoth Hospital were lovely. They think I have a torn MCL and also possibly an ACL. So
did you send an email to the Mammoth ski lift people saying, hey, maybe y'all need to not have other people waiting to ski where others are trying to get off of this thing, or else oopsies like this will happen?
It's laid out really poorly. And even my friend Max from Ski Patrol was like, people just sit there. And so
Not
I don't know what
good.
to do about it.
Not
It was a
good.
crazy crowded day, but there are people in the ski patrol who had gnarly shit happen to them that was worse than me
Well,
because
sure.
it was a warm day. People were skiing in shorts. And this one girl who had to have been in her 20s came in like laughing and crying hysterically at the same time because she was skiing in shorts and somehow the edge from her right ski sliced open her left leg.
Okay. This is why I'm by the fireplace with a nice book. No.
So, yeah, it was intense. Mammoth was very young and wild this past weekend, and I am not these things. So we learned a lot. Okay, so thank you guys for being here. Teddy says he can't wait for the trial. Thank you so much. Happy Friday to you, Matt. And yeah, Micah says Christy's games. Christy will start running high stakes poker games now. I hope so. She's very stylish. Yes, and Teddy says we can rebuild her. We have the technology. Yeah, I'll find out next week whether I need to have surgery. Okay. I'll keep you guys posted. Thank you for asking. Okay, so we have movie news to talk about too. There's a whole bunch of stuff that is happening this past week. Alonzo, you texted me a link to this, the big Dwayne Johnson story.
Yes, the Wrap did. They went in deep. Basically, the launching point for this was this Christmas movie that he's been making for Amazon Prime called Red One. It was supposed to come out last year. Now we're getting it this year, and apparently there are folks on that set who were willing to speak on condition of anonymity, and they talked about his being up to 8 hours late on the set and just all sorts of like not great diva behavior. And then they just started digging up all the stuff like from previous sets where people talked about that his behavior was not great, to the whole thing of him trying to kind of take over the DC universe with Black Adam and, really pushing for like, Superman to make a cameo in the film and all this stuff. And then that film tanking. So it's a bit of a pile-on, but I mean, there's some stuff in it. There's some quotes from people who seem to know what they're talking about. So yeah, maybe Vin Diesel wasn't the dick all this time.
And also,
Who knows?
this all contradicts Dwayne Johnson's brand, which is
Yes.
he's up early and he's hardworking and he's up at 3 in the gym at 4 every single
Yes.
day, like a bastion of professionalism, and
Right.
treats everyone with decency and integrity. And so all of this seems very contradictory to the very well-crafted image that we have known of Dwayne Johnson for decades now.
Yeah, totally. So, and again, I think as is always the case with these, like, if the bottom line, allows it, then everybody else allows it too. So in other words, like if his movies continue to be crazily profitable, he can do whatever he wants and no one's going to care. But if he is making budgets go crazy and it's not, coming back at the box office, as with, his last couple of films, Black Adam and Skyscraper, which I enjoyed, and some other ones, like that's when people start going, start talking to the press about like what a diva this guy is. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, he and Ryan Reynolds had this big beef and they didn't talk for years until recently.
after Red Notice of all things.
Yeah. Well, so is Red One not a Red Notice movie? Is it a sequel to Red Notice?
It's not connected. You would think they might be, but no, it's a whole other thing. But because it is a star-driven action movie for a streamer, I'm sure Lon Harris would probably classify it as a Red Notice movie, but we have to see it first.
Oh, I am totally wrong then. I thought it was a Red Notice movie because aren't we supposed to be getting 2 more of those?
Oh God, I suppose.
Yeah. So there's that. Also, Dan Schneider is suing the producers of this Quiet on the Set documentary series for defamation. He is saying that he didn't do any of the stuff, and that it makes him look like there's this horrible environment of harassment, and he was not responsible for any of that, and his good name has been besmirched. But what's interesting is that when these first came out and he was asked about it, he acknowledged, like, I'm very embarrassed seeing this and I need to apologize to a lot of people.
Yeah, and I don't know why now suddenly the turn of like, what, me? Never, and here's the thing, like, unless he thinks they're going to settle, if this actually goes to court, then everything he ever did or said or allowed happen comes up in evidence and in testimony. So you got to have a really, it's not like England where like you can prove libel or defamation a lot more easily. Here, like they will reconstruct the case they made in that documentary in the courtroom under oath, and he's gonna have to answer questions about it, presumably under oath, if he takes the stand. So I don't know what this is about. I don't have firsthand knowledge of any of this stuff, but it's a bold move. We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, Discovery is a bitch.
Yeah.
So James Bunt, thank you for keeping me honest here. He points out you left out the P in the Dwayne Johnson story. Yes, he also
right.
peed in bottles.
Yes,
and then handed them to his assistant because he
Or a
didn't want to
PA.
leave, someone to
Yeah.
take his pee away. Take my pee.
Yeah.
They
Like-
put the P in PA.
Exactly.
Too soon, maybe. But this is just, further evidence of his dedication to his craft. Like Dwayne Johnson does not have time to leave to go to the bathroom in the middle of shooting.
Or that he won't go to like a bathroom that isn't exclusively for him. It depends on how you spin that, I guess.
That is a good way to look at it. Hi, Dorothy says, hi, Christy, hi, Alonzo. Hello to our friend Dorothy, one of our channel members, Dorothy Husen. Good to see you.
Hey.
Spirit of the Time says the article had him on 2 points, being egregiously late, which is really unprofessional, even in a winner takes all business, like making movies and peeing in bottles to save time. A hilarious combo. That does seem contradictory.
Yeah, exactly. Like get there a little earlier, slot in some pee breaks, everybody wins.
Brent has the line of the day. He was Dwayning his Johnson. Nicely done. Very good. Yeah. Javier Ramos points out the Quiet on the Set is such a tough watch. Yeah, I actually have not seen it. And a lot of folks have asked in various live streams, have you guys watched it? And I cannot bring myself to watch it. So, but I will follow whatever's happening with this story here for sure. Speaking of problematic people, J.K. Rowling. Daniel Radcliffe says in an article in The Atlantic that he needed to speak out against her transphobic remarks. He owes her his career. He acknowledges that, without Harry Potter, who knows what kind of career he would have. He's enormously talented, and we've seen that in post-Potter roles. Certainly, he makes really interesting choices, but like that really put him on the map and made him a phenomenon. And he acknowledges that, and he's thankful for that. But he also recognizes that having played Harry Potter for so long, that character is really important to a lot of queer kids and a lot of trans kids. And that whole series is about inclusiveness. And so he had to speak out because of that, and he cannot defend what she has said.
Yeah, no, and good on him. I think he and Emma Watson both have been very vocal about like, yes, look, this was, do we owe our careers to her output? Yes. Can we stand by silently while she says this stuff? No. And I admire them for it because I think of all fandoms, like the Potter one was intended to be more open-minded and more welcoming of people who are like outsiders and that kind of thing. And so her heel turn has been really depressing to watch unfold, frankly.
Yes. I hate the phrase doubling down, but she has been doubling down.
Yeah.
So she's standing by her
the worst double down since KFC's.
Ooh. Also, Sean Garant says, eating Pop-Tarts all day today. You know why. Yes, we will be reviewing Unfrosted later on. Alonzo and I do not agree on the Jerry Seinfeld Pop-Tart movie. And then our friend Christine asks, any plans on reviewing The Idea of You on Amazon? Yes, Christine, we are also doing that today. So we have a couple of big streaming movies for you to talk about. Yes, Seth says Daniel Radcliffe got his first Tony nomination this week. Yeah, and he's done a lot of theater.
Yeah, I mean, and like not the easy stuff. Like Equus is a real challenge for an actor to do, And I so wanted to see this revival of Merrily. I love that show so much, and it's such a great score. And I heard he was terrific at it, and I'm glad he got a Tony nod. That's exciting.
Yes, very much so. Chris Hemsworth is admitting that in the most recent Thor movie, Thor: Love and Thunder, that he lapsed into parody, that it got too wacky and too jokey. And in retrospect, he's not happy with the results of that.
Yeah, and it's weird because that's also the movie where Natalie Portman is dying of cancer. Like there's a lot of tones smashing into each other in that movie. But good on him. I think a lot of actors do this and they never cop to it later. So I approve of him saying the quiet part out loud.
Yeah, this is in an interview in Vanity Fair. And, I think Thor defines him in some ways, but
Sure.
not totally. Of,
No.
of all the movies he's done, that's just sort of a small number of them, those Marvel movies.
Yeah. But, again, like with the Harry Potter thing, I think it's kind of what put him on the map.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. And but then it's been a joy to watch him, flex those comic muscles, if you will, in
Yeah,
other settings as well.
totally.
I am not so fond of Chris Hemsworth when he has to be like the greatest hacker in the world, the hunky hacker.
Yeah, I'm going undercover in China, and then they show him at the airport, and he's like a full like foot and a half taller than everybody around. I'm like, oh yeah, way to blend in, man. No one's gonna spot you.
Mick says, saw Merrily Roll Along. He was quite good.
Cool.
Good to know. Talking about Daniel Radcliffe. Brad Smith says, are you guys bursting at the seams to get to the theater to catch the 25th anniversary of Phantom Menace? Yes, tomorrow is May the 4th. It is
Yep.
Star Wars Day. We will not be doing that. But what I am going to go see, which you saw last night, which our friend on the game is asking about, is I saw the TV Glow. We're going to do that
Yes.
next week. So you saw that yesterday, yes?
I did.
Do you want to say anything, or do you want to hold your thoughts until next week?
I'm going to keep my cards close to the vest. We need folks to come back.
Okay. Madan of Kogas Hall says, hello, big fan from Pakistan. Keep doing the great stuff. We're happy to see
Wow.
you. Thank you
Welcome.
so much. Appreciate that. Teddy says Hemsworth did say he wanted to play Thor again to make up for it. Hemsworth was great in Rush, says all in the game.
Mhm.
Yeah, and Locusto liked him in Bad Times at the El Royale.
Yep.
Yeah.
And let's not forget Ghostbusters 2016. It was very funny.
Yeah, no, he I appreciate him taking the piss out of his own hunky image, as they would say. So no, I am
in
not
the
going
Dwayne
to.
Johnson style, however.
No, I am not going to go see Phantom Menace tomorrow. Although we did have a poll on our community page in the past several days. Nick asked me what is the sandiest Star Wars movie, and that got us debating about, there's a whole lot in episode 1, of course, but then like episode 2 has the whole famous I don't like sand, it's rough and coarse and gets everywhere monologue, which is infamous. So chime in with your thoughts. What is the sandiest Star Wars?
Yeah, we sat through the first the prequel trilogy and the good trilogy on the other show, and so you can always go back and revisit that review. I'm not watching it again.
Yeah, I don't see any need to, for sure. So did you guys see? Okay, so The Fall Guy is out today. That is the big movie of the week. We reviewed that on Tuesday because we were so excited to tell you about it. So that is out there. But Ryan Gosling and Mikey Day got dressed up like Beavis and Butthead again to go on the red carpet of the Fall Guy premiere here in Los Angeles, here in Hollywood. If you guys didn't see the SNL sketch they did, it's hilarious. You've seen it, Alonzo, yes?
I did, yeah, and I
Okay.
thought it was a very funny idea for the premiere, and it's like, these things are so generally like. Like our friend Gray Drake, one of the things that I think that she does so brilliantly is realize that no actual news is ever going to come out of a press
Right.
junket. And so she comes up with ways to make it fun and funny and like get fun stuff out of the celebrities because they're not going to drop any bombshells. They're not going to tell you anything genuinely revealing. And so, yeah, like if you're doing the red carpet for The Fall Guy, it's not like, oh, yes, my, Schindler's List 2 with the Ryan Gosling. It's like, yeah, why not? Why not? Just do something goofy.
And I do enjoy that about Ryan Gosling, and maybe it's the Canadian in him. There's a self-deprecating kind of nature. It'd be so easy to just be a dick. Like he's beautiful and insanely talented and makes great choices. It'd be so easy to be totally full of yourself. So the fact that he will get dressed up like Beavis for the premiere of his own movie says a lot for him.
For sure. Yeah. No, he's killing it, and again, I think making interesting choices.
Yes. Angel says Gosling as SNL host is always hilarious, but the Papyrus 2 sketch wasn't as funny as the original. Did
True.
you guys see this? The Papyrus 2 sketch? I guess they cut it for time.
Yeah, wisely.
You think so?
Yeah, they didn't really have anywhere to take it, I don't think. And so it was just kind of like that lightning did not strike twice.
But I was just so impressed with the production values in that, just the way it's shot and cut. And he's seriously acting in it.
Sure.
there's no winking. He's taking it totally seriously.
No, I'm not pinning it on him. I'm just saying, I think it was, if you're going to, the thing about Saturday Night Live is like they come up with these sketches that are sometimes just this lightning in a bottle craziness. And then whenever they try to redo it, it doesn't. Lisa from Temecula. Hilarious the first time, hasn't been funny since, because it's just this random, assemblage of things and ideas that shouldn't work or make sense, and people are laughing, and it's just this goofy magic that you get in live television. But then if you try, but Lorne Michaels will not leave a dead horse unbeaten, and so it doesn't always work the second time. And I don't think Papyrus 2 worked the second time, despite, yes, there's a great deal of craft and he's giving it his all, but it's just not, it's been done already.
It's in bold. It's totally different. It's in bold. That's a really funny idea.
I keep thinking about Avatar 2 because of the new AMC Nicole Kidman intro, the new one, the recut one, but the new clips are always Elvis and Avatar whenever I've seen it. And I thought, I want an AMC intro where Nicole Kidman goes into the theater and sees her own weirdest movies, like Birth and Fur and BMX Bandits. Like, I think that would be really fun. But
Dogville.
Exactly. But I never get what I want,
Can you imagine? Right. Heartbreak
we
feels
come
good
to
in a
this
place like
place.
this. And she's in like a Lars von Trier movie. Oh my God. Because the thing about Nicole Kidman is so interesting, that she just was a big AFI awardee this past week, is that like she makes really daring choices. So yes, I want the Birth Fur double feature there. That's a really good idea. Okay, Teddy says that the new Beavis and Butthead episodes on Paramount Plus are actually very funny. I have not seen them, but Beavis and Butthead is a very important college cultural touchstone for me, early 90s there.
I would highly recommend, speaking of which, if folks have not heard it yet, Dave Holmes, former VJ and Esquire writer, has a really great new podcast called Who Killed the Video Star? And it's like a 6 or 7 episode. I forget. I've heard the whole thing. It's great. It's just a history of the rise and fall of MTV.
Oh, fun.
It's really good.
Yeah, I used to watch a lot of MTV back when they showed actual videos. It was a different time. Ed Looney says, that said, I never get tired of the Kate McKinnon alien abduction sketch. I'm just delighted to see her.
I guess, but at least that one, they have a formula and then they can do variations on it. So the writers, I guess, have to come up with new, polite and rhyming ways to talk about, her, like, various orifices, I guess, and that's always the joke. And as long as they come up with new ones, I guess, they keep it alive.
Trevor is mentioning Lobster Dinner with John Mulaney. I was going to bring up John Mulaney anyway, because he's got this whole series of like live things. Everybody's in LA, these live shows, because the Netflix is a Joke festival is happening right now at the Hollywood Bowl. And so
around all over town.
Yeah, I kind of don't know what this series is. Like, I'm trying to understand it, because it's not live, because there are already bits that have been recorded, because there are teasers for them. There's one with Richard Kind. Like, I don't understand what this is, but I love John Mulaney. Nick is super into John Mulaney. So there's quite often a John Mulaney stand-up special on our TV back here. But do you understand what the series is?
I don't. I mean, I think by live, it just means like it's going to drop at this specific time, and maybe there's going to be some live aspect to it, but also filmed bits. I don't know. But as a tie-in to that, there's also a Mulaney sitting down with David Letterman interview, which I haven't seen all of it yet, but the first 15 minutes is pretty good. I've seen
pieces of it too. Yeah. When you go to Netflix, they are very much in the John Mulaney business. Maybe this is just our algorithm, but like 8 of the 10 things on that main page are John Mulaney related. So I do enjoy him. Yeah. Nick's been into him lately, and also George Carlin.
Okay. That's some good parenting there, Christy. Well done.
Right? I'm so proud. And then he tells his friends, like, have you seen this George Carlin clip? And they're all like, who's George Carlin? Oh, he's going to be okay. It's okay. A couple more things I want to mention here.
But Jerry Seinfeld says woke has killed comedy, Christy. Haven't you heard?
All the more reason to not enjoy Unfrosted. But hey, we're going to get to Unfrosted eventually.
We'll get there.
I don't want to give it away just yet. No. So a couple more things I want to mention. The trailer is out. This like a little teaser trailer for Barry Jenkins' Mufasa, which is a prequel to The Lion King. I'm guessing you did not watch it, Alonzo.
I did not, because of my general attempt to not watch trailers whenever possible. It sounds Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, like, I I have decided that my mantra for this whole movie going forward is Barry Jenkins is getting paid. And like,
Yeah.
because he probably, I'm sure, got some decent money out of Amazon for Underground Railroad, but like, Moonlight and If Beale Street Could Talk were not going to be like big income generators from those. Were fairly like low to mid budget indies. So it's like, Barry Jenkins deserves a summer house. And if it means making a Lion King prequel that no one needed, fine. I'm not going to begrudge Barry Jenkins that. He's earned it at this point. If he's not going to, and maybe he also has a MacArthur grant. I don't know. But if he's not going to have a MacArthur grant, he should have a dumb Disney movie with a very fat paycheck attached to it. And I don't begrudge it to him.
Yeah, I've seen that there's been a bunch of criticism against him online, like, Barry Jenkins, what are you thinking? Because he is a serious artist and a serious filmmaker and knows a lot about film, as we know, has a deep love for it. So the
Yeah.
idea that he would go and make this like live action CGI hybrid for Disney, it does sound like quote unquote selling out. And I hate to say that, but I have this hope that he will bring something else to it, that is distinctive toward his perspective on filmmaking, and it's an incredible cast and another movie that you would not know from the trailer that it is a musical
Aha.
until you see in the titles like songs by Lin-Manuel Miranda and of course Beyonce's in it and Blue
Right.
Ivy's in it. So I don't think you would know, like has been the case we know with Wonka and
Color
what else.
Purple and Mean
Yeah.
Girls. Yeah, that was that's the thing of like, shh, it's a musical, don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, who knows? Maybe we'll see the final product and be like, ah, yes, I see the Claire Denis references that, typical Barry Jenkins, he's done it again. I don't know, but seriously, at this point, I'm like, this dude has made such great work that I do not begrudge him, the chance to like, make sure that his IRA is in good shape.
Yes, a couple things I want to mention. Our good friend Anthony Post has chimed in saying, "Hey, y'all, just got out of the 25th anniversary showing of Phantom Menace. Yippee! We were just talking about that. You'll have to let us know how it was to rewatch that. Poor
Yippee
Jake Lloyd.
indeed.
Poor Jake Lloyd. That was
I
an awful,
know.
sad thing that happened. That he got just eviscerated.
Early
He was a
victim of
kid.
shitty people on the internet. Yeah.
He was a kid. And then Brad Smith asked, "Do y'all have a most anticipated movie for the summer? For me, it's got to be Maxine." I'm excited about that. I'm
Yeah.
excited about Furiosa coming
Yeah.
out in a few weeks. What about you, Alonzo? What are you looking forward to?
Yeah, both of those for sure. I'm trying to I mean, I keep forgetting what's actually coming out this summer, but I do know I am looking forward to those. Yeah, come back to me.
Okay. A couple things. Hello to our friend Charlie. He says hello. He waves hi. Wayne says I went in blind to see Challengers on Monday evening. I really
Ooh.
liked it. It is fun to go into movies without having any idea what it is about.
Which is why I don't watch trailers, y'all.
Right. Well, All in the Game asked this question: does Alonzo cover his eyes and ears in the theaters when trailers come on?
Sometimes I have still not seen the Furiosa trailer. I have heard it, but as Dave pointed out, all trailers sound the same. It's like
That's true.
boom, like it's so yeah. As long as you close your eyes, you're really missing most of what's going on. So yeah, I for that one I for other ones I'm like whatever, like it's fine.
Yeah.
But
And they all begin with a ding.
Exactly. All things being equal, I would just as soon never see another trailer again of a movie I haven't watched yet. And the best is when I get to go to like a film festival somewhere and see a movie that I know zero about.
Yeah, that part's fun.
Yeah.
Star of New York points out, of course, Mufasa is a musical. The prior live action Lion King was a musical. Yes, but nothing about this tells you that it is also a musical.
Right.
Nothing, there's no musical thing in it, except for the Sedania off the top.
Yeah, I say the original animated film also a musical, obviously, but yeah, it's crazy.
Yes. Joker 2 is also a musical, points out
Yeah.
Angel the Man. Brent Lutholt jokes, be right back, writing up 3,400 words on the mise en scène of Mufasa. Yes, please get back to us on that. Gage asks, have either of you seen Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes? I'm slightly disappointed that Matt Reeves didn't direct. No, we're seeing it on Tuesday.
Yeah.
For you.
You just froze a little on me,
Oh
or
no,
I
did I
froze on you.
freeze?
Sorry. Yes,
Hi, can you hear me now? Can you hear me
I can.
now?
I can. I can. I can.
Asking about Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. It's Tuesday night, but I feel like you're
Yeah.
not going.
No, I'll be there.
Okay, I don't know why I thought you had something else.
No, the
Um,
following Tuesday is when I'll be in Palm Springs, but this Tuesday I'm here.
Cool. Yes, and Locusto says I stopped watching your review of Killing of a Sacred Deer because I followed your advice of going in cold.
Oh,
Worth it for sure. Yes, it is always good, but increasingly difficult to do in the world. And then finally, I wanted to mention that Slamdance is moving to Los Angeles. We've been talking about how Sundance is possibly going elsewhere. The contract with the film festival and the city of Park City runs out in 2027. So they're looking at other cities possibly. But Slamdance is moving to Los Angeles.
yeah. I think San Francisco and Atlanta and some other places are stepping up as possible new homes for Sundance, which I imagine is just all a sham to make Park City give them what they want. But it makes sense for Slamdance because they are. They obviously they started out as kind of an adjunct sort of punk response to Sundance, but for a festival that is celebrating like low budget DIY stuff, you're then making filmmakers travel to a ski resort in January and like try to fight it up for hotel rooms and all the complications of getting to, staying in, and getting around Park City. So yeah, I think it makes much more sense they could do a much more sort of lean and mean thing in LA, and it's probably they can get screening venues and
Sure.
party spaces and all that stuff much cheaper.
Right. Much more accessible to more people.
Yeah.
There's public transportation if you wanted to use it. It can be done. There's a
Exactly.
metro. It exists. A couple more things I want to mention. Oh, hi, Doug. Doug is here saying trailers can be such a crapshoot. A lot of them give away way too much. Some are just wildly off tone, not really communicating with the movie. Really is victims of poor marketing. Yeah, I went to high school with a guy who is like the trailer guy. His name is Mark Woolen. He was a year ahead of me in high school. He was in the TV news program with me, and he is known as like the guy that you want to cut your trailers. And he does a great job of making you want to see it without giving away the whole thing. So, but it is definitely an art for sure. Javier says you should consider doing live polls on your future live streams. Javier, when I figure that out, I will do that. I've only gotten this far, but I love learning new things and playing around all the time. So I will do that. YouTube. So I'm not even sure is that a YouTube thing? But I'll look into it because that's a nice idea. That'd be really fun. Leo asked, any chance you guys are seeing Hacks on Max this week? I've never seen Hacks and I hear it's great.
It's so good. Yeah, no, Dave and we've been saving it for the weekend. I've got Hacks, and I've got they just dropped like 4 more episodes of season 6 of The Circle, which is completely stupid, and I'm addicted to it. So I have all of that to look forward to.
Cool. But what we are going to do starting today on our Patreon is The Sympathizer.
Yes.
Also on Max. So we watched the first 2 episodes of that. We're going to catch up with that 2 this week, 2 next week, and then we are caught up. So if you're watching a Sympathizer, come hang out with us over at our Patreon, which is patreon.com/BFastAllDay. Be lovely to see you there. We just wrapped up Ripley.
Yep.
We are doing... What else
Shogun?
are we doing? Shogun. Yeah, we're catching up with Shogun. We're going to do 9 and 10 on Shogun next week. So we have all of that to look forward to. Angel says, gotta go. Chrissy, take good care of yourself. My dislocated shoulder has already recovered full mobility.
Yay!
Thank you, Angel. Skiing is dangerous. But I'm glad you're doing a lot better. And Locusto says, if you watched Sugar on Apple, that's so funny that you ask. We were thinking about doing Sugar, and then we heard it wasn't very good. And so we did a
survey.
We did a poll and nobody wanted us to recap Sugar. So we did Shogun instead.
We'll be diving back into Bridgerton. That's coming up soon.
Yeah, a couple of weeks from now, the first chunk of Bridgerton, it's like 4 episodes, and then I think 4 episodes, and the first 4 come out in a couple of weeks. So we'll definitely be doing that. Doug Arthur mentioned Stop Making Sense hits Max today as well.
Oh,
good
fun.
to see.
Didn't know that.
Yes, cool. You guys are all wonderful. We have reviews to do today of Unfrosted and The Idea of You and The Sympathizer over at our Patreon. So come hang out for all of that. Alonzo's book comes out on May 14th. Hollywood Pride is right there behind him, right? There it is.
Yes.
I see it.
Available for pre-order, and it's available as this handsome coffee table book, but also an ebook and an audio book. And if you have the Libby app from your local library, which you should, you can reserve the ebook and the audio book for when they drop on May 14th. And if your local library doesn't have them, ask them for it.
Ah, yes, for sure. And then my latest edition of my newsletter comes out tomorrow because today is Friday and tomorrow is Saturday. Hence, it's called Saturday Matinee. You get goodies there that you do not get anywhere else. So you can subscribe at ChristyLemire.com. All right. Great to see you all. Yes, It Can Be says Baby Reindeer is good. I hear that is good.
I'm hearing that too. It seems grim, but I should probably get to it at some point.
There's so much television. Matt Blands has already pre-ordered your book, Alonzo.
Yay. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it.
Yes. Thank you so much. All right. Have a fantastic weekend. We will see you back here next Friday. Thanks to all of you for your support and your insight and for just your enthusiasm and sticking with us all this time. We're very, very thankful to you. And we will see you. Thank you, Christine, for hoping my leg heals soon. And we'll see you again next Friday. Bye.
Bye.